Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Kyle and I make videos about photography, videography, tech, gear, gadgets, tutorials, how I make videos. Pretty much anything that I'm interested in, I will post to this channel. So thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Today we're going to talk about my epic looking cinema camera rig. It can look kind of intimidating at first, but it's really not too bad. It's comprised of just a few doodads here and there, and I'll go over each one. And of course, everything that I have built into this rig, I will have linked in the description. So kind of starting off, why have a rig? Why have a camera rig? Why not just carry around a normal camera, you know, on a shoot, taking photos, shooting video? Obviously, this is more video centered, cinema, if you would. Obviously, you're not really gonna be taking photos with something like this, but why have this when you can have this? It's much smaller, it fits into bags, a lot more compact, lightweight, and gets the job done. That being said, having something like this is, I mean, tenfold. There's a lot of different reasons why you would want to build out a rig. One main thing is just the customization that you can have behind a rig or a setup like this. So you can kind of see at the top, there's all these different ports. I have the handle, I have the screen, the battery on the back, the front. I just have this up here. You know, it makes it look nice. You have the lens. It's all built in and it's very professional looking. So I would say another reason is, aside from the customizations and all the different ports and all the different things you can add to it, is also the look. When you show up on a client site, on a job site, you're working with a new client, they want to hire you for a job, and you show up with something like this, it has a different tone. Not negative, but if you were to hire someone, or you saw someone's work and they showed up with something like this, or you saw someone walk in with this, you're gonna look at the person with this and say, holy cow, that guy knows what he's doing. That girl is intense. You know, they definitely have their together. So that is a main reason. I will say the matte box in the front, it was kind of like the staple for a long time. If you showed up on a client site or a job site, and you had a matte box in the front, people took you seriously. But now, as things are evolving and the landscapes are evolving, having a rig set up like this definitely draws more attention, which can be a positive and a negative. But again, you can probably get away with charging more if you're doing freelance work and you have something like this. Someone's gonna spend $5,000 on you to shoot a promo for them when you have this versus just a normal mirrorless camera. So let's get into it. So first things first, this whole thing is comprised of my Sony FX30. This camera has been phenomenal. If you're looking for a really solid, really steady camera that won't let you down, you know, you can have it for years and years, and it's affordable, I definitely recommend the FX30. My main camera, which I'm shooting on now, is the A7 IV. The A7 IV is great. It's full frame. As my main camera, it is phenomenal in the studio. It does have some overheating problems, so having the FX30, which is Sony's cinema line, definitely makes it more reliable in the field. It has internal fans, which won't overheat. Again, all the customizable ports and different 1/4-20 screw sections you can rig out if you wanted to. But the FX30 is a really solid camera. The lens is the Sirui 35T 1.2. I think Nightwalker is the name of that lens line. It kind of gives me, Nightwalker kind of gives me like Game of Thrones vibes. This is just a small rig, matte box on the front, a small rig V battery, which everything is powered by, a few cables here and there, and the big part holding everything together is the Cineback by Camera Foundry, Caleb Pike over at DSLR Video Shooter. His channel is phenomenal. Go check them out. He started his own company and started making these. Again, it's called Cineback. You can get him for a whole bunch of different lines of cameras. I think he's coming out with Panasonic ones next. He already has a few Sonys, and it's just going to get better from there. And then this is a small rig handle with a Portkeys, I think PT6 monitor. So again, putting it all together is not terribly complicated. It's twisting of knobs, you know, taking things apart, a couple screws here, a couple screws there, and you're all set. In terms of, again, how this thing works, there's a few different ways in terms of power. A lot of people like having dummy batteries. So in here, again, everything is accessible. You just kind of flip this screen right here, this little battery window right here, and then you can access the battery. So a lot of people have dummy batteries and they connect it right to the DTAP port on the side of the Cineback. Again, it has 4 DTAP ports, which once this V-mount battery is inserted in, you can see everything will run off of this one battery. This is the 50, which I get several hours in or off of. If you need more than that, of course, they have bigger batteries, but I don't think it's really necessary unless you're doing like a lot of video shooting throughout the day. One of these will be perfectly fine. 2 of them, if you want to just like hot swap them, that's definitely cool. The other cool thing is that it has the screen of the FX30. When it's in here, sitting on the inside of the Cineback, there's a nice little rubber stopper here that will allow you to, you can close the screen this way to prevent damage. What I like to do is sometimes flip it the opposite way when my cable's not in the way, which it is right now, so I can't do it, but you would flip it and then have it out here so you can still see what's on the screen if you needed to while recording. I don't really use a dummy battery for this because there's been some talk. It's not like a for sure thing, but it's also not something that won't ever happen, is dummy batteries messing up the internals of the camera, whether it's not providing the right amount of wattage, or if something goes wrong, it could corrupt the file or corrupt the camera altogether. So I use just a simple DTAP to USB-C power supply. So again, it's just plugged in. It looks like this. This one is from Condor Blue. So another great thing about the Cineback is there's this whole inside, what they call a vanity space, and you can take the screws off if you wanted to and shove all your cables in there. But all I do is just plug this in here, again, which is all running off of the small rig V-mount battery. This goes through the side, and then on the other end, it just plugs, where are we? Plugs into the camera right there. And I don't ever have any issues. If I'm running around, I'm not too concerned about this being affected. I'm not pulling on or anything. So that works really well. Of course, an HDMI is going to the screen. And then I have a DTAP to AC plug here, which goes right into the monitor. Again, if you don't have one, then you have to use these giant batteries. Where are we? So something like this, they would go on to the front of the monitor here, and it just adds a lot of weight. It also makes it look kind of bulky. So having just a simple cable going onto the back here just makes everything so seamless. And again, the better that I can just pick up the camera, flip a switch, and go is perfect. Again, there is a switch here. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. There's a switch here that will power on and off the battery. So when it's off, obviously nothing's working. If you look down here, flip it on, the blue lights mean there's power coming to it. And again, all that is being powered by this V-mount battery. Some people will leave the camera on the on position and just use this as like a hot on-off switch. I don't do that. It just seems a little risky for me. Um, but what Caleb and his team has said, it's totally safe. There is also no battery leak for when you're just having it on here. If you put it on here at 100, you know, it's not going to be draining battery from this natively. Of course, there is battery degradation over time regardless, but just having it on the back here is not going to be an issue. Of course, the matte box is for controlling light. If you're not familiar with the matte box, that's what it's for. But again, it's really just, it's just so simple. It does have some weight. You could definitely do some curls with this thing and get pretty buff. But again, it's the look. Again, this is what we're going out into the field. We're showing that we know what we're doing. We're able to charge a higher amount because we have a cool, big cinema rig like this. But also, it just makes sense. I mean, I can hold it like this. I can go out. I can shoot. It's with the weight, I can pull it, you know, kind of close to my chest and really get, you know, steady shots here instead of just kind of handheld where the footage can be kind of shaky. I can really just kind of hold it against my body and turn and really be able to control it. Again, it's not too heavy. It definitely could get heavy over time if you're just kind of strong arming it like this, which is why I definitely would suggest having a handle of some sort. But yeah, this thing is definitely great. It's a beast. It's super well made. Again, you could get so many different accessories if you wanted, you know, a different type of handle, or if you wanted a actually like hand grip on the side of your camera. You could definitely deck this out way overboard if you wanted to. More power to you. But again, this is just something that, again, ever since I've gotten it, I've really enjoyed it. It's made shooting videos, shooting movies, shooting different projects I've been working on a lot more simple, and I can't recommend it more. So if you're looking for any of these different parts or you have any more questions, let me know in the comments. Again, I do have everything linked that is in this rig in the description below. Those are linked to Amazon. I don't have like an affiliate link with Cineback or anything like that. The Amazon ones are affiliate links, so I do make a small cut on those, just FYI. But yeah, thanks for watching. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer them. All right, thank you. Bye.